In order to make cycling and walking essential parts of a city's mobility culture, it is vital to already start promoting them in primary schools, and ideally, even earlier. Walking to school, either alone or in groups, is a completely normal activity for many children in Europe. The benefits are many. Children are physically active, they gain experience of travelling in traffic, and learn how to find their own way to school. Their parents are not obliged to play the role of taxi driver for their kids, and the environment benefits from lower emissions, whilst fewer cars in front of schools lead to fewer accidents. However, even though these benefits are many and obvious, there is a trend in certain countries to drive children to school. Safety and security, accidents and so-called stranger danger are the main arguments that parents give us as to why they don't allow their children to walk or cycle to school. As one way of halting the trend, so-called walking buses have been organised in many countries across Europe. A walking bus is an organised form of getting to school on foot. Many organisations across Europe have planned and implemented walking buses. The Energy Agency of La Ribera in Spain and the Centre for Health and Development in Murska Sobota, Slovenia, are two such organisers. Another, the French environmental organisation Prioritaire, is the driving force behind walking buses, or pedibus as they are called here in Haute-Savoie, where in two rural areas walking buses have been successfully implemented. A first step is the planning of safe routes. Children who live in the same area should join the group at certain bus stops. Together with the parents, these routes and stops are selected and marked. To ensure permanent operation of the walking bus, its organisation is handed over to a coordinator among the parents once the test phase has been finalised successfully. At least 2 adults accompany the pupils. Like in a real bus, a driver leads and a conductor is at the end of the group. And like a real bus, the walking bus has a fixed route with bus stops and a timetable which indicates when it picks up children. The accompanying adults supervise the children, especially when they have to cross streets. If only one supervisor is available, then he or she takes up the rear and places the most responsible child at the front. Supervisors are role models for the children on their way to school.
I was already walking my children to school alone, so now it's nicer as they're part of a group. On Monday I walk the walking bus, and on Friday I leave my children with the walking bus, which allows me to go to work earlier.
Other mums are also pleased with the walking bus.
Alors en fait au départ on était avec 2 mamans, on est parti donc du Crête.
At the beginning we were 2 mothers from Crête de Chavanneau, 1 kilometre from the school, and we took turns to accompany one another's children to school. And we found it very nice, especially because the children began to get to know one another.
Nous avec l'autre maman aussi, on a commencé à créer des liens qui étaient vraiment sympas.
We also created really close links with the other mothers, and then other mums became part of the project. That's when we made the project more official, because we wanted to have a bigger walking bus, and also to get the support of the school and the city hall.
Mais en fait, les enfants, ils vivent au quotidien quand on fait les pédibus.
Actually, the kids discover things every day while walking by walking bus. They discover nature, the environment, and they also get closer to each other. For example, this morning we found a little mouse, unfortunately dead, but still they could look at the mouse. We also have red worms or snails on rainy days. It's always a discovery.
Donc c'est une découverte en permanence.
Why do politicians support the walking bus? We asked the mayor of Poissy. So after this important development of 520 new homes in Crête de Chavanneau, it was essential for safety reasons to link the development to schools and central areas. But as we have done in other projects, in this one we have also tried, wherever possible, to keep walking paths separate from the road.
Le cheminement piéton du trottoir.
What about reactions and feedback of the population?
Alors, d'une manière générale, quand les choses vont bien, on vient pas.
Well, when things are doing fine, people generally don't get back to me. but in this case I've had much feedback.
Effectivement, j'ai beaucoup de retours, notamment par le directeur de l'école, qui m'a fait part donc de la.
In particular, when the headmaster told me that parents were very happy to have this type of secure access to school. It's really satisfying for me to know that. What is the most important hint that the organizer could give to others who also want to implement a walking bus? We ask Yenel Carton from Prioritaire.
La chose la plus importante, en fait, je pense que
I think the most important thing for a long-lasting walking bus is to help the parents at the start of its implementation. Then it can run by itself for a school year. And after that, it needs another relaunch since some children will have left the school and it's important to find new motivated parents. It's really the parents' motivation that makes a walking bus successful.
Donc vraiment avoir un bon groupe de parents et après tout le reste, ça en découle.
Another walking bus has been organised in Cologne-Salève. The idea and operation is the same. Children meet at defined bus stops and walk together to school accompanied by parents. Also here, the organisers are enthusiastic about the idea.
At the beginning of the pedibus 1 year ago, we had 30 children participating with parents, with many parents, and now we have just a few children with the parents, and the other children are going to school alone. So they are autonomous, but they make a group every day.
But the most important thing is that the pupils like this way of going to school. Do you like the walking bus?
Apart from the walking bus, there are a number of other successful and easy to implement school activities, such as the traffic snake game, that have been played in many schools all over Europe for several years now. Within Active Access, the traffic snake game was successfully implemented in Murska Sobota, Slovenia. In addition, videos were played at parents' evenings to highlight the traffic situation outside the school each morning. At this point, parents often realise for the first time that they themselves contribute to the safety problem at the school by dropping their children off by car.